Hello, back again, are we? Well, let's have another story today. This story is called Bath Time. Hello. Oh, it's you again. Are you ready for today's terrifying, creepy tale? Well, today's is called Bath Time. Are we ready for today's creepy, terrifying tale? Well, I hope I'm not going to scare you too much. Let's begin our story today. I hope you're ready. You ever wanted just to take a long soak? Just stay in the water till your fingertips and your toes go all weird and wrinkly. Boris broke his chain on his plug about 2 weeks ago now, and he seems to have misplaced it somewhere. Boris was sure he left it at the side of the bath, but it's just vanished. Maybe that damn cat had run off with it again. His cat was always doing that. He had looked everywhere. Maybe he had just put it somewhere else. But for now, he's stuck with showers. Boring showers. And he is absolutely sick of them. It's been 3 weeks to this day. He thought to himself, I must keep looking. It has to be somewhere. And if I can't find it, I will just have to go out and replace it. It was raining outside. The shops were a good 10-minute walk away. He absolutely despised the rain, so he decided to take his car. He pulled up in his car outside the local shop in town. It was a cheap shop. It sold a little bit of everything. Today was deadly quiet, like it always is in this store. He had a flashback of when he was younger, and that strange feeling when you walk into a church on a weekday, that smell and the emptiness and the stillness. The shop sold all sorts of rubbish mainly. There is a hardware aisle, but Boris didn't know where it was. He asked the shy-looking cashier, "Excuse me, do you know where the hardware aisle is?" Boris noticed the man had a name tag. His name was Roy. That's a very old-fashioned name, thought Boris. Roy looked up slowly at Boris, and he pointed to aisle 9. Great. He didn't even want to break the silence. Boris walked over to aisle 9 in search of a new plug. But, of course, there was none there. Great. Now there's another 2-mile drive to the next place that will sell plugs. I can't be bothered to do that right now, thought Boris. I just can't be bothered to do that tonight. I will go tomorrow morning. On his way home, Boris noticed a big sign on the side of the road. There was a big picture, and there in the big picture was a chunky looking man holding a big bottle of bubble bath. The man in the picture had the most overly big smile. His smile was massive. This just really annoyed Boris. The look of the smug man in the bath. He was frustrated and mad. He was talking to himself out loud. "I just want a bath," shouted Boris to himself. He got into bed and he read his book that evening. In the morning he got up early. It was raining again. Boris needed to try and get that plug today. He got up, got dressed, and got into his car. On his way to the next hardware store, Boris noticed 3 more massive billboards with the same poster of this very jolly looking man in the bath of his bubble bath. This made him more determined to get his plug today. When he got to the store, he found the right aisle, and there was 2 different size plugs. He couldn't remember which size it was, so he ended up buying both. On the way back, he stopped off at the store he went to yesterday because he remembered he needed to buy some cat biscuits for his cat. While walking down the aisle, Boris notices that he walks past one of the big bubble baths on all the advertisements he's been seeing. Boris thought, why not pick one up for my bath? The man does look awful happy on the posters. So Boris picks one up with the cat biscuits and goes to the till. When he got to the till, he saw Roy again. It was the same dude from yesterday. He went to his car and he drove home. When Boris got home, he ran to his bathroom to try out his plugs. Thank goodness one of them actually fit. So he put it in and began to run his bath. As he started to run his bath, he remembered about his bubble bath he just brought and went to tip it in. When he opened the bottle and tipped it slowly, it poured out. It was basically water. He must have emptied at least half the bottle into the bath. Boris thought to himself, well, I did want it bubbly after all, so I suppose it's okay. Then the cat started meowing. Okay, I'll feed you, muttered Boris. As he left the bathroom, he went to the kitchen and filled the cat's bowl to the top. Then watched his cat as he was scoffing down the biscuits. While he was scoffing, the chunks of dry, crispy chunks of meat. As Boris watched, this made him slightly hungry too. Maybe I should have some toast, Boris thought to himself. So he popped 2 pieces of bread in the toaster. Boris decided to turn on the TV and watch the news. He turned on the TV. Flash news. The TV's flashing screen was showing that there was going to be a huge storm heading his way. There was red weather warnings. Boris was that into the news he forgot about his toast. And he burnt it. Boris burnt his fingers on the toast getting out of the toaster, which was now black as coal. He grabbed 2 more slices of bread and put them in the toaster. They were calling it Storm Aaron. It sounded like it was going to be an awful, massive storm. And then the boring ads came. Boris hated ads on the TV. They all just sounded the same. First there was one about new trainers, but then the second one, it was that stupid man with the smiling face in all the posters he'd seen. And he was sitting in a big bubble bath with the most ridiculous jingle playing.
You know you need a bath when you see the bubble man.
The commercial voice was going on about how this was the
You know you
most
need a bath when you see the
amazing,
bubble man,
relaxing
the most
bubble bath
ever.
on the market. Then there was very loud thunder right over the top of his house. This scared the cat. Then all the power went out. And then there was banging on the door. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, 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 bang. The door went. What the hell can that be? He could smell his toast was burnt again, so he went and removed it from the toaster. And then he ran to the door. It was Roy from the store, and he was holding Boris's wallet. Had he left it behind? Then Roy pulled out a gun. Roy started to stutter as he talked. Ha, 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 hello? You need to listen to me. Where's the bubble bath? Where is it? Boris forgot all about his bath. He looked around and saw foam and water flowing down his hallway. Oh damn, my bath, shouted Boris. Roy pushed past him, ran towards the bathroom door, slips on the floor in the wooden hallway. And while lying on the floor with a terrified look on his face, he started shooting into the bathroom. What the hell was he doing now? What the hell was he doing? What was happening? All of a sudden, this big bubbly hand grabs the door frame, and this enormous, foaming creature pulls Roy by the ankles and drags him into the bathroom. The lights all flicker. Boris is so confused now. What in the hell did he just see? The storm outside was making so much noise. The wind was so loud. All of a sudden, Boris heard a big crack. What should he do? Should he run and try and help Roy? The sound got worse. The roof got ripped off his flat, like a can being opened, with debris and bricks falling all around him. He looked over to where the bathroom was. All the walls were in half. Now Boris could see the beast in its full form. This enormous foam creature. Boris looked into his eyes, and he noticed that his eyes were the plugs that he had just bought that day. What the hell was going on? He looked over to try and find Roy, only to find a pile of blood, intestines splattered all over the place. The foamy creature walked closer and closer to Boris. As foam flew round the sky from the creature, Boris could hear the creepy jingle from the commercial he heard earlier. Was that coming from the creature too? Boris's heart was pounding and pounding. He closed his eyes as tightly as he could. All of a sudden, Boris could hear water gushing into his ears. Was he underwater? The next thing, Boris wakes up. He gasps for air as he sits up in his bath, with bubbles foaming over the edges. How did he get here? Everything seemed exactly the same. Nothing had changed. There was still power, and his roof was still intact. Was it possible that this was all just a dream? I'll let you decide that. Thank you all so much for coming along to listen to my story today. And thank you all for your support. We could do a bit better. Well, wasn't that a fun tale? Thank you so much for coming along and listening to my story today. I hope to see you next time. I hope you have lots of nightmares tonight. Foamy creature nightmares. Goodbye.